Hello and welcome to another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of another furry visual novel. This one, you already saw the title for a hot second, String Zero, a game about, as I'm bringing up the synopsis, String Zero is a linear, furry, kinetic, cyberpunk 18+ LGBT visual novel currently in development. I think we already went through those aspects before, so let's go with the story. Truth is a matter of imagination. Sounds like a fact that may fall, fail, or prevail if the style of its telling, like a singular organic jewel of the seas, of our seas, which grows brighter as one woman wears it and worn by another, dulls and goes to dust. The facts are more solid, coherent, round, and real than pearls are, by Ursula Guin, Left-Handed Darkness. Anyways, a bit more of the story. String Zero follows Ravy, a young adult human in a mixed species society who struggles not only with powerful ability to shape reality, but also a complicated relationship with an enigmatic father, Aerran. Together, along with a warrior-nun bodyguard, Yuraeli, the three manage exile in the city-state of their home's enemy, a technologically advanced corporatocracy run entirely by the monolithic company and its chairman, New Leos. Rather than the safety they hope for, Ravy's family instead finds prejudice, corporate infighting, and dangerous truths, ultimately becoming embroiled in hunt for ancient jazz technologies that have both countries on the brink of war. Join Ravy on the journey of self-discovery, navigating the dangers of both the city and his past, while aligning himself with a curious crew of mercenary runners, each with their own particular agendas and complicated pasts. And sorry, that was a bit of a long thing, but anyways, before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io, but if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, then you can go to Patreon, where it's $3 a month. Also, if you want me to do a Let's Play of this game, then tell me, and I'll give you a point which will put up higher on the user's choice list. And then, if you want me to do a quick look of any other game, then tell me, and I'll put in my thing, and also give it a point. So, with that long-winded thing away, let's reset our face and begin. After a life of endless black, we have finally arrived. Landing day was the first and last time I stared into the hazy glare of Erlang's planetshine. Also, do we have to slow down that thing? Yeah, I don't know why it's always at like max. From high orbit, we saw the curve of her cloudy atmosphere brush against the void, a thin, airy line separating our future from everything our parents had hoped to leave behind. We were so close then, you and I. We shone in the hope of new beginnings. One hand for my sister, the other for your shoulder, while the rest of our team cheered. I watched you squeeze the tiny little leaf around your neck so hard you almost bleed. Squeeze that tiny little leaf. Leaf? It was an impression of metal of the very first sample of our colony drones had retrieved, proof of habitability. Proof that your father had made the right choice, leaving Earth. Proof in your vision of shattering our human limitations. I still remember how fresh it smelled, how alive, how terrible it smelled when it burned. I like bits of Cyberpunk, but I never finished it. I watched someone else play it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm good. I never have to play this again. Or play it to completion. Then you died. In that final moment, as the world unraveled, as the physical frayed into fantasy, untethered, as spiraling desire, forever hungry, unmade us, leaping into the vortex. You died. You died. One last passage bubbled from Satra's runway executions. A leaf, buoyed by the abyss of fathomless neon logic, winking on my display. Your leaf. Rain check on lunch, then. Smiling, as if it wasn't still trying to stitch reality back together. If it wasn't still scrambling for the right connection. The one that would patch the hole in us, make us real again. Smiling as if I had found enough time. I hated it. That symbol of your vision, of all the mistakes you made. Because it meant somehow that you had stopped him. Somehow you had bought me time. Somehow you had saved us. And even in death, you were going to make sure that I knew it. I hated you. I loved you too, but I hated you more. I grabbed that leaf by its flesh, stupid little face. I threw it back into the currents. Why didn't you listen? It spun into a wilder, unfamiliar cyberspace, a starless cybersea, a maelstrom. It spun, I spun, we alone, we spun until I saw something. A promise, the universe, existence, epiphany, strings in a tapestry. I reached for one, but too many strings reached back, twisting, nodding, ooh ooh. Didn't any of you listen? How is it that... I know it's like cyber thing, but hold on a sec. That's a water tower there, like an actual ass water... Why? How is there water towers? You know? Also... Boot that, Jesus bitch. Yeah, I don't know. I still hang from as many threads as years have passed. The ruined towers of our still frozen city reach upwards. It leads towards a laden sky, hazy and impenetrable. 1,000 fingers crowding a lonely hand. They crawl at the clouds for as many answers, but find none. Trapped between fact and firmament, soil and sky, they rust yet remain, ever-decaying monuments to each of our failures. Genius. 0100011 0110 Like, I wonder if that's like speak, ambition, vision. There's a guy over there. And promise. I wonder if we can translate that. What was it? Bite to English? Just kind of wonder if it's like, well... I mean, it is a byte, right? Or bits? Yeah, whatever. I've lost, caring. Like any good story, security is a compelling fiction. Personal reflections of something. So this is kind of like the Dune things, or at the beginning of every, like, chapter thingy, it's like, we're gonna have this, like, story or, like, saying or writing from somebody. Arc 1, Winner's Jazz. Chapter 1, City of Rhyme. God, I miss Win James. I've made the mistake of looking down. The white knuckle rung of this decrepit emergency ladder. My boots struggle to find purchase against the veins of ice, threatening me with a nauseating drop into centuries of rubble littering the alley below. Are we in I thought we were in a technocracy, not a, frostpunk area. I close my eyes and try to catch my breath in sharp, misty gasps, ragged from exertion. Wind howls between the tall buildings and through the jazzed-up insulation of my jacket. I haven't been climbing for long, but it doesn't feel that way. Time here is meaningless. Peeking open one eye, I very empathetically look out and not down, tracing the skyline for the far silhouettes of crumbling skyscrapers. I squint through the thermal protection of my holographic mask, as if, by sheer will, I can see past the curtain of heavy clouds. It's been years since I've glimpsed the blue horizon or the starry night for more than a moment. Today hasn't changed that. I wonder, it can't have always been this way. Why would anyone choose to live in this cloud, or cold? I can read. What were the ancient builders trying to accomplish? And yet, here I am. So I guess people find the reasons. I make the mental note to check my loom about it later. For now, I push aside my poor sense of local history and pull up, groaning at the ache in my arms. Loom? Okay, it's like, hey, here's backstory. Not backstory, but, stuff about the world. Times like this are when I recall that old Ryan nursing rhyme. Spinning, spinning, roads like a thread, weave them together and spare your dread. Breathing slow, I close my eyes again and focus on what the rhyme suggests, and of the 100 or so metal rungs I have left. Endless white and gray above, endless white and gray below. I could climb the tallest building and just see clouds of snow. A desolate expanse of bleached and muted gloom, unknowable horizons, shrouded by the brume. A calming exercise, though it might be, there's no replacement for skill. I sigh and cough a little as my voice croaks. No one says boom, Ravy. You just sound pretentious. I bet Dad would still like it, though. He does enjoy a good abuse of language. Then I frown. That thought was a mistake. Dad. My gloved hand squeezed the metal rungs. I can feel the heat and bile rise up from my gut in spite of the frigid atmosphere. For a few sweet moments, I had forgotten I was mad. Why did you have to be such an ass? I hissed at him as if it were here, the words louder than I intended, echo between buildings as if accusing me in turn. I'd come out here to cool off, but it would apparently take more than a snowy afternoon of daredevil climbing. The echoing just reminds me of how mad I am at myself. We couldn't even keep it to ourselves this time. You're seriously joining up with Caviar? Just like that? And that's Dad? Sorry. He's a zaddy. I suppose you can fault your talents without consequence then, without getting caught? Do you remember, what that would mean? It's not the sort of thing one forgets. Capture, conscription, experimentation, execution. I'm not an idiot, Dad. Sorry, Aerran. Now, not Dad. Well, if that's the case, I've never been comfortable with Dad. I insist you start calling me Aerran. We can do away with childish sentimentality, since you're obviously a proper adult and have everything under control. Yuraeli, Aerran's bodyguard, and my occasional instructor simply stood there, more disapproving than usual. I didn't think that was possible, which just hurt more. She has a chin on her. I set my jaw. Whatever they think, I'm 22. I've been a proper adult for years. So, what do they expect? I have to start pushing boundaries at some point. And who even says shit like that? Don't call me Dad anymore, because I think you're being irresponsible. I can handle myself. Yeah. I like to think I'm not the one to hang on to anger, but it keeps roiling in my gut. I guess no amount of exertion or bitter chill will be keeping my head cool today. I'm just tired of feeling shitty. And being shitty. But like the voice against the buildings, Aerran's words echo. You know, the city isn't just frozen, it's stuck in time. Much like you are. So wait, the city is or isn't like abandoned stuff? I guess not? Perhaps you're right. It's time for you to grow up and make some mistakes. Maybe then you figure out whatever it is you really want. What's really important. Fire burns in my core. Being tossed out could have been easier. Then I'd have more righteous reason for being upset. Instead, I had just stormed out of our home like a child he accused of me of being, which made me all the more furious. And yet, what else was I supposed to do? The man was being a sanctimonious ass. After years of telling me, you have to stay, Ravy. It's too dangerous, Ravy. You can't be caught using your powers, Ravy. He dares me to leave. Staying would have implied I agreed. I guess that leaving suggests I'm reckless. So yeah, stuck. All I ever want, is a chance to explore, to see things and peoples and places in the stories. Maybe wanting that is reckless, sure. But which is it, Aerran? Stay and be safe by just listening to tales of your making, or take risks and make tales of my own? I feel like he's making me choose between security and autonomy. Freedom, or him, or freedom. I sigh and close my eyes. I want both. Cold powder drifts down to sprinkle my face as metal rattles from the landing some distance above me. The wet and cold soothe my thoughts. I open my eyes. Wow, Ravy, you must really want to lose if you keep stopping for breaths. A familiar snow tiger leans over the edge. He has the colors of this place, all the blues and whites and grays and stripes and spots. Mercifully, he's a lot more cheerful. Shut up, Caviar. I don't see you moving. I sputter, shaking my head, clear of the powder. Doing so makes the ladder shudder and groan. I grip tighter and force myself to calm down. Caviar doesn't deserve my anger, and I don't deserve to fall to my death. I'm also not the one losing. I've got the time to recline and enjoy the view. His powerful body spoons the edge of the landing, with his tail flicking over the side. Most irresponsible thing he could do. The whole platform noisily protests his considerable weight. But hey, you good? That ladder looks pretty dicey. I wouldn't have picked it. Do you hear that? That's you weighing as much as a boat. Worry about yourself. Rude. I puff and pull. If I don't hurry, he might bring the whole landing down on my head. I swear, if I die by fat tiger ass, I'll die happy. Besides, I thought you liked all this muscle. I don't have to look to know he's flexing. Given he doesn't have to wear many layers, it probably stands out impressively too. I'd like not to fall, however, so I focus on climbing. I really shouldn't have picked this ladder. Can't fall out of you, busy climbing. I'm pretty sure you got enough mouth to both breathe and flatter me. Wow, now who's being rude? I'm still panting. I should have finished the climb before flexing on my parental pain in the ass. Hey, you challenged me. And it was bold. Respect. Callous disregard for personal safety. It's how I know you've got the grit to not fall off this ladder. I can hear him stretching, taunting, teasing. He swats the ladder with his tail, and the whole thing shakes. I can feel the vibration in my wrists. Whoa, Caviar. Language grumbling. I guess that's a swear word. Boom. Yeah, let's continue. But as I recall, the terms were, and I quote, "If you win, I will tell you in increasingly colorful ways how attractive I think you are." My arms ache. I'm buzzing with adrenaline. My fingers are freezing. Gloves be damned. This sucks. I'm not a grumpling. Persuasion at its finest. Oh, my mistake. But fine, be that way. If you don't want this here fine company, I'll be waiting at the top, ready for your admiration. Don't make me wait too long. You haven't won yet. I can't hear you over the sound of winning. His voice echoes over the next floor. Fuck him and his acrobatic mastery. I laugh in spite of myself and shake the remaining snow off my head. I hadn't made that bet in good faith. I knew I'd have to cheat. Giver didn't need his already monstrous ego stroked. Ooh. Besides, winning wouldn't help me feel better. I get to taunt him for a change. I'd wait for him to get a little further ahead and out of sight, and then take a breath. I think back, recalling Aerran's training exercise from my youth. I exhale. I try to clear my mind, but still chaotic. There's no just letting harsh words spill away like water, as he's fond of saying. My feelings are sore. Attempting concentration in this frame of mind isn't wise. And yet, here I am, about to throw caution to the wind. Just like Aerran said I would. Give me a sec. Sorry, sometimes I just have to, rumble my throat. Everything reduces to two dueling thoughts. I am mad. I want nothing more to do with him. I'm sad, because I do. Reconciling them right now feels impossible. It's a choice married with the mix of different competing anxieties, sinking into stagnation or drowning into the unknown. I feel alone on an island of misery, stuck. But there's a time I didn't feel this way. I remember our camping trips, long before we came to the city. When I close my eyes, I can still hear Aerran's steady voice, smell of Aerran's forest on the warm summer air, and feel the flickering heat of our campfire. These were quieter times before the arguments, when his words helped me feel calm, supported, and safe. Times where he taught me to shape my own power, make my own choices. Times when I felt he loved me without question. I focus on that. Still the mind, slow the breath. Feel your surroundings. I feel the metal beneath my hands, the cold of the hissing air, the taste of frost. Expand your perceptions. I picture the ladder's rungs. I hear the creaking of bolts. I know there's metal beams above and below, crumbling stone and mortar. There was a bridge once. I saw where it was attached. Behind me, there's another building, close, but still too far to jump. I saw crumbled stairs inside leading up. Good, Ravy, but more. Remember, your perception is your reality. If this isn't the reality you want, change it. Enter the story time. I take one last breath, and then open my eyes. Reality and color shift. I'm still here, on the ladder, but I can perceive both the ladder as it is and as it was. Electric lights glare, neon flashes on signs and billboards. The ghosts of people who lived here march below and above me. Everything has a digital aura, as if it all might suddenly dissolve into pixels and fade away. I feel like a voyeur of the past, peering into something I shouldn't, something long gone, but it feels real. The smell of exhaust, urine in the alley. How would you smell alley urine all the way up here? Just saying. Bread baking in a restaurant nearby. I can hear snippets of conversation. Too many conversations. Music, vehicles, sirens, sounds, smell senses. Everything, everywhere, all at once. It's so loud. Overwhelming. Fuck, I can't do this. I'm too uneven. Losing focus. It's a mistake. I'm going to black out. Ravy. Come back, Ravy. Focus only on the threads you need. Right. Thanks, Dad. Ladder, bridge, stairs. Let everything else fade. Now, spin them together. This is your story. Take control. I see the bridge, both broken and whole. The ladder was secure, Ravy. No, wait, Ravy could climb it easy. I take another breath and pull myself to the next rung, and then the next. Oxygen fills my lungs. It's less of a struggle than before. I huff as I pull myself to the landing, making it a point not to look down. I open a door that is and isn't there, turn a corner, and dodge a few insubstantial figures. The bridge hovers before me, flickering between being and unbeing. The bridge was whole. Ravy could cross it. The flicking stops. I step into open air. My foot thuds on the bridge's translucent floor. I quickly cross it. I'm always nervous just how real those stories will be, or how long they might last. The other building stairwell is on the left. I drag my gloved fingers against the wall, as it's both whole and nothing but skeletal rebar. Then I dash in. The stairs are all there, solid. They held when Ravy climbed them. I take step after step, and my lungs burn. I probably would have said something about having better lung capacity this time too. But maintaining my focus, it was troublesome enough. Remember, you are not safe in story time. Be focused and specific, then leave. Uneasiness. I feel it very suddenly. I've never experienced anything bad in story time, but never felt Dad was lying. He lied about a lot of things, but this? There was always something lurking, watching. I simply assumed it was ghosts of the past, but I sprint the rest of the way up the stairs, tumbling against the door of the stairwell as I try to catch my breath. I have to hurry. I shoulder the door open, jogging to the nearby windows. No bridge here, but it's not really a problem. There was a second, higher bridge with open exits. The spectral neon bridge appears as if it's always been there. But my uneasiness increases. There's a difference between speaking something into being that once existed and creating something new. The latter feels like a ripple, or an echo, a disturbance in the fabric of story time. My focus falters. Like a light breeze whispering against my ear, the pressure begins to change. It filters into my thoughts like 1,000 pinpricks and just as many voices, expectant, eager, urging me to do more, create more, hungry. I glance over my shoulder, past the drifting shadows of the long dead, into a bright hallway that wasn't there before. Icicles hang before it like teeth. It feels different from the rest of the story time. There's no digital aura. It feels real. Powder and dust glide along the floor in a respired rhythm. It's breathless. Listen. Something reaches for me, slithering like a tongue. It disturbs the shadows as if they were smoke, straining and stretching too close to the distance. It's cold. Colder than it should be. Which is when I realize I'm frozen too. Come here. No. Absolutely not. My heart pounds. My mind races. Yes, my mind. Distance in storytime is more than just a matter of space. Thought is form. Ravy's too far. I say it again. I recite it like a mantra. Ravy's too far. Ravy's too far. It doesn't like that. The light gets brighter, and a sudden series of pops and crashes like ice on ice vibrates the room and my skull. I squeeze my eyes shut. The floor is shaking. Something slithers into my mind, hissing a word I can't quite focus. Open my eyes. The hallway looms over me, with its icy teeth, yawning open to breathe me in. A terrified gasp catches in my throat. You are in control. I summon everything I can to scream past my terror. Ravy could not be caught. My body crackles with sudden energy. I immediately spun around, thundering across the new bridge, back to the first building. I've never run so fast. Almost there. I try to stop myself, but lose control, tripping over my feet and tumbling forward. I slide across the rough cement floor and thump against the wall, a heap of insulated leather and glowing thermal protection. But my voice still works. The bridge Ravy crossed never existed. And then the bridge is gone. Monster's hallway is gone. All I hear are the muted sounds of the city. I'm panting. My heart is pounding. Close my eyes. Get a grip, Ravy. I open my eyes. No hungry hallway. I push myself up against the wall, catching my breath. I'm in a large room. The remains of furniture are scattered around, probably an old lounge. There are stairs leading up to the roof behind the ruined door. Good. I can do my best on my own. Time to go. Rest on my own. Time to go. I take one final breath and close my eyes, thinking of the wind, the desolation, the ruins. Of Cavier, his handsome face and expansive ego, his kindness for cheering me up on a bad day. Conclude the story. Come on, Ravy. I will, Dad. I will. I open my eyes, and the story ends. I'm back. Back, but not okay. I'm still winded and flushed with adrenaline. What just happened? I've never been threatened in a story time before. A palm and around my face. The holographic thermal barrier shimmers as my hand passes through it. I need to calm down and get my shit together. Even if it means losing to Cavier. I cross my legs to just be and close my eyes, attempting to meditate against the wall. I briefly wonder if Dad might have had any more sage advice, but dismiss the thought. My anxiety would just return to where it was. No, I needed clarity, and Dad's usually the opposite of that. But there is someone else who can help. I take a breath and clear my mind. Pay attention, child. Yuraeli's Vatchan's accent is full of rolling R's and open vowels. Please stop calling me that. You'll learn that right when you prove it's no longer true. Defend yourself. Oh, you earn that right. Earn or learn? Earn. If I could only read English. Defend yourself. Lifting her practice baton, Yuraeli moves with grace and precision. She strikes high. I lift my baton to block. She knees me in the stomach and pushes me back. Sloppy. She circles me like a predator, noting every stray movement, every uneven breath. She strikes again. I block, barely dodging the follow-up strike. You're reacting, not thinking. And you're relentless. How? I grab my stomach. She lunges. Shit. I sidestep and counterattack. She swans the attack aside easily. Better, but you're still missing the point of this lesson. You mean it isn't a test of how many bruises I can take? Too slow. I yelp, rubbing the spot. Yeesh. I'm not training you to be a warrior. I'm training you to think like one. She points to my eyes. Observe. Then to my head. Consider. Then to my hands. Execute. She then gestures over my entire body. A consistency of self allows the unity of purpose. You sound like Dad. Because, despite his abundant faults, your father understands the importance of being present. She lunges. This time, I dodge out of range. Unfortunately for me, Yuraeli predicts the movement and rushes into my space, whacking my wrist and forcing me to drop the baton. Briskly, she grabs my disarmed hand and locks it against my back. I hiss. You are not here. She speaks evenly into my ear. I can feel her breath. Where are you? Or am I? I'm fucking trapped in a joint lock, Yuri. No. She tightens the lock. My arm buckles. I wince and fall to my knee. I struggle a little to try and break the lock, which only results in further pain. Fuck. Because it is so simple, it eludes even the keenest of minds. If you already know the knife is sharp, then you were to cut by it a long time ago. If you already know the knife is sharp, then you were cut by it a long time ago. You're really reciting scripture to me right now? She ignores me. Do not become caught by the moment of struggle. If you choose to make it your home, then you will never leave. Her voice is low, cool, and smooth. I don't sense any anger or ego. She repeats herself. Where are you? Her calm stoicism is like an aura. It focuses me as well. I take a breath and think. I'm trapped. I'm caught. I'm stuck. Oh. I'm stuck. Yes. But not physically. Well, yes, physically. But also in my head. Yes. So, because I believe I'm stuck, I'm stuck. She loosens her grip slightly. The world is vast, and we are so small. We do not grow in size when our eyes are closed. If you open your eyes, and the room is full, then, when you close your eyes, the room is still full. This one I understand. I've got to get it out of my head. Assume nothing. Focus on the present. Observe. I take a slow breath, relaxing my limbs to a twist, and break the joint lock. Just like she's shown me many times before. Yuraeli nods. Now, how sharp is the knife? Consider. Not sharp enough. Execute. I'm startled by the sound of heavy paws landing in front of me, the blood briefly drained from my face. There you are, Ravy. Did I just see you walking across open air? And was that you yelling? The fuck? Shit. I use the wall to push myself back up to my feet. Dad would say something like, never let people get too close, and conjure a story of the so absurd it must be true variety. Caviar and I are already way past the former, and I definitely am not clever enough for the latter. Besides, I don't want to push Caviar away. You, what? What are you telling me? What aren't you telling me? I think back to Yuri's lesson instead. I feel a wash of calm over the memory, swallowing my fear, as I observe Caviar's face. He seems confused, not worried, so he probably hasn't jumped to any threatening conclusions. Why would he be threatening? That makes sense. Caviar's a pretty grand guy, and I've always been the more anxious of the two of us. Except when I'm mad. I guess as I stand at the top of a crumbling high-rise with no climbing gear. Maybe I'm reactionary and irresponsible. How? Caviar interrupts my thoughts by thumping my head. Frost the atmosphere to Ravy. Hey, sometime before I freeze. Alright. I came across some new jazz tech, and just surprised myself a bit. Caviar groans. I knew it. You only challenged me to race because you had some new gadget up your sleeve the whole time. I'm not fond of lying to Caviar, even if it was only a half lie. Because I do have a lot of new gadgets, not just on me, yeah, I guess in him, because it's cyberpunky, and not just for this race. Which, in hindsight, would have been smart. I can't always rely on story time for emergencies, especially not with today's surprises. I resist the shiver. As if I could beat you without some kind of an edge. Which is true. And you're not going to show me or tell me anything about it, are ya? Nope. I grin brightly. Not yet, anyways. Sneaky shit. Fine. He lifts up his hands. I surrender. You win. What? Just like that? Hey, honestly or no, you beat me up here. And just a few steps shy of the top. I'll take the L. Yeah, but just this time. Honest? Huh. I fold my arms and look away for a moment. He gently knuckles me in the chest, stepping back into my vision. His big hand grasps onto my shoulder. Why the frown? Ain't winning what you wanted? He eyes the stairs leading to the building's roof. Come on, I'm not a complete idiot. I know you really just wanted someone to talk to. It's my turn to look surprised. How uncharacteristically intuitive of you. The snow tiger shrugs his broad shoulders and swishes his tail as he walks past me. The yellow sash he always keeps tied to it nearly flicks my nose. I can't let you hog all the surprises, Grumplin. The bottom of the stairwell is dark. Gavir's tail bats me on the nose, and I grab it. I can barely make out his grinning face. Don't fall now. The stars protest, but hold stares. As we approach the top, the darkness quickly gives way to light. The door to the roof has long since disintegrated, with light pouring in so bright, even my hollow mask doesn't shade quite quickly enough. For a moment, I mistake the wind for a voice. My breath catches my throat. But there's no spooky hallway, just the roof and Gavir. I exhale, squinting as I join him. He slides an arm around my shoulders as I do. The ruined city I've seen, Leos, is extensive. Essentially circular, the tallest buildings crowd in the middle, and shorten further out as one goes, eventually fading into endless snow whipped into the dunes. I've only seen the ocean a few times in my life, but this always feels familiar or similar. The occasional cluster of ruined buildings or islands that can be seen far out amidst the white, surrounded by hoary, foggy waves frozen in time. As the very tips of the taller buildings, the hint at much more buried beneath powder and permafrost. So much more. Entire industry exists to explore it, provided one can get approval, or not, if one wishes to live dangerously. Well, more dangerously. Gavir prefers the legal side of danger, at least when it comes to ruining. Hence his business. Gavir's expeditions and enterprises, stitched on the back of his shoulder's harness as K-E-N-E. I never get used to this view. Even after living here all your life? What you mean? Well, it's just white on white, with a few embellishments. There's not that much to see. But there is. Don't go being a nearsighted city boy. It might just seem like endless snowfields, but the land here breathes. It changes. Beneath the winds and the snow, the jazz energy, and whatever other natural forces are at work, you'll never see the same landscape twice. Well, the mechanical sense, I suppose, that's true, since the dunes are always moving. But even so, it always looks pretty similar to me. Kind of reminds me of like some kind of Star Wars city, you know? Cold, frozen. It's just a lot of white. So am I, and you like me well enough. This guy. You're more blue than white. And I didn't say I hated it. I know. But what about the beauty of it? It's just what everyone calls it, the white. Like it's some kind of phantom waiting to make you disappear. Isn't it though? People vanish out here all the time. Gavir shakes his head. Past the city skyline, low clouds swirl along all the visible horizon, white and gray, blurring along the indistinct terminus. Bearing the occasional building or rock, there's a subtle distinction of color is the only way of knowing where the snowfield ends and the sky begins. I strain my eyes. People vanish because they're unprepared. They don't respect, they can't tame a landscape like this. You either act humble or are humbled by it. Humble, huh? I elbow aside, But his hands find my shoulder again, and he looks down at me. I'm serious. Yeah, it's kind of freaking me out a little. He chuckles. Sorry, it's just something that's been on my mind, is all. But I don't mean to make this about me. We're up here for you. He squeezes my shoulder. It's okay, Frost Fuzz. I can wait a little longer. What's happened? He doesn't answer immediately. He sighs. Another ship's gone missing. The Midnight Star. I heard it was right before you called. The navigator's a good woman named Adali. We've done some jobs together. I pat his hand. You think this is related to that big storm a few days ago? Probably. I'm sorry. Were you close? Not personally, but that's not what this is about. Being a ruiner is dangerous work, Ravy. You know, charting new locations, exploring who knows what. So, all of us involved, sailors and adventurers, mechanics and the like, we all have a sort of professional understanding, even if we're competing for the same stake. Like, kind of family? I wouldn't go that far. But there's a certain amount of mutual respect. We listen to each other, because if we don't, people die out here. So, what's the problem? Well, the reports all said normal overcast that day. The readouts all had the storm tracking north, right? Jastic is pretty incredible stuff, but doesn't always get the details right, especially when it comes to weather. Which, considering we're working with tech that's hundreds of years old, it's understandable. So what? You're saying this shouldn't have happened? It's not common to lose expectations to bad reports, but it's not unheard of. More the problem is that I knew it was wrong. I felt it, and I had Adeline to tell her captain too. Wait, Bagga, you felt it? Your tail have a built-in barometer or something now? I was like brometer. That's what the stash is? I swatted playfully. Stash? Kavir sighs and looks away. Even his tail droops. The captain didn't believe me either. Superstitious nonsense, he told Adley. Even with the understanding, there's reason why you don't see many snow tigers around the docks. Folks don't put much stock in our feelings. Well, stall your claws, Fuzz. I didn't say I don't believe you, or your entire people. I just need a little bit more than it felt wrong. I knew it because I could tell was upset about something. Who? He takes a breath and pinches the bridge of his nose. It's not something we talk a whole lot about outside the clans. Okay, well, I don't know how helpful you expect me to be if it just sounds like you're making up words. I'm not from here, Kavir. I don't hold any weird prejudices against anyone. Prejudices that aren't deserved anyways. Kavir sighs again. People around here live by the tech, Ravy. They don't got much room in their heads for a whole lot else. Being as your tech head too, I just thought you might feel kind of familiar or similar. This is turning into deeper conversation than expected. I look around for a place to sit near the building's edge that appears relatively stable. I eventually find a large metal beam that somehow doesn't seem to have damaged the floor too much when it fell. Good construction, I guess. I know we agreed a while back not to talk too deeply about our pasts, Kavir. But maybe that ought to change. Sit with me. I can feel Dad's disapproval in spirits, and I don't care. Right? I sit, gesturing for Kavir to join me. He does, returning his arm to my shoulders and pulling my buried body into his side. Or blurb, whatever. I feel his warmth, less than I'd like to. We simply sit there for quiet in a few moments, snuggling together against the cold. Spirituality is everywhere back home. Like you, I don't like to talk about it a whole lot. But Ryan is a place where people say everything that has a story has a voice. If you annoy a familiar rock, or a tree, or river by talking to it long and hard enough, it'll eventually talk back. I smile as I look at the horizon, warm but bittersweet. And up in Vanchas, the Schwardelhaswar capital, they have a whole institution dedicated to philosophy of the soul, temples and chanting and scriptures. Where do you think Yuraeli gets it all? I reckon I knew that already. She's pretty on the nose about her faith. But you, Ravy, you never seem to take much stock in it. Well, I don't. Not really. But that doesn't mean there isn't some value to it. Bruce aside. I look back at him. The snow tiger hums. Aside from a few sacred places where the jazz is rich, snow tigers mostly roam the snowfields in family clans, following the Hellihan herds. You're that long enough, and you're bound to get to know a place. He taps his head. So trust me when I say that what folks call the White is Kai Wenhoto, or something. Her name means something like the bright wind or the shining breach. She's in the land, the air, and the jazz. A certain bizarre hallway suddenly springs to mind. Oh, how bright. I lift my hand. No, never mind. What kind of a spirit is she? She's not a spirit. He rubs his cheek. Well, not in the sense she's metaphorical or nothing. She's energy. She's real. As in, she's someone you can talk to? No. But when you're far out, deep in jazz, you can feel her in the jazz. Anyways, I call her the great-grandmother. She has patterns and routines she likes, as well as moods you've got to manage. Especially when her routines get all out of sorts, usually from outside interference. She gets real cranky then. Sounds like a spirit heavier. And that's what you felt a few days ago? Yeah, something was off. I could feel my spots and stripes. He reaches for his tail with his free hand, gently thumbing at the yellow sash. That's what I was trying to get to you earlier. Adeline trusted that I need what I had to say, but the Midnight Captain didn't. It was bad form. Now, word on the docks is that he's been pressured by the company to investigate something, and if he messed it up, they'd be taking the ship. So it probably wasn't personal, but even so, no ship is worth its crew. He shakes his head. It just feels so necessary. The great-grandmother didn't care about a whit about the company or schedules. If he had just waited a day, things would be fine. He looks up at the sky. Well, I'm at least sorry about Andeline, or whatever. It sounds like she was pressured to go too, even if she thought it was a bad idea. Well, I wouldn't count her out just yet. She's no snow tiger, but she's been navigating these lands for a long time. She understands the rules, respects the great-grandmother, listens to her songs, and follows her lead when you dance. Do that, and she'll show you all kinds of wonders. Maybe even a safe harbor or two. It never took you much of a dancer. Is that what you were doing whenever you were bouncing around these buildings or sailing around the powder ships? Dancing to snow and music? Maybe I am. Is that so hard to imagine? I smile at him. Besides, ain't Yuraeli on all this time about listening to the emptiness and looking beyond the surface, whatever piece of scripture she's married to today? This is exactly why she doesn't like you. Impossible. I just haven't turned on the charm yet. Besides, I respect her faith. It just sounds funny sometimes. Yeah, I don't think that's going to win her over. Besides, I think she's only capable of liking 2 or 3 people at a time. I can be the third, sure. But you want to talk, and I made it all about me. So let me guess. Aerran, huh? I'm not exactly sure I need to vent about Dad anymore, but it's probably for the best if Kavir's filled in. He doesn't want me calling him Dad anymore. Well, you can always call me. Stopping you right there. If you want to talk. You don't say. Kavir laughs, a deep sound echoing off the building, and probably down into the streets below. I smile in spite of myself. It's a nice change of pace. Serious though, what's instigated this? I roll my eyes. You did. Huh? Oh. He chuckles. I guess the invitation to join the crew didn't go over so well then. Shockingly, no. Well, you expected there to be some sort of pushback. I sigh. Maybe even that was too optimistic. Oh golly gee, how dare you make attempts at independence? Okay, well, how did Yuraeli take it? Quietly. Okay, so that's like her natural state of being. Oh, no. I flick my hand towards the snowy wastes. Like a great-grandmother out there, her quiet has an entire spectrum of moods. So, this was a disapproving sort of quiet, then? Like I said, she doesn't like you. Well, even if she's not the biggest fan of my work, I know Aerran likes me. I laugh a bit bitterly. I'm sure he does, in the same way he pretends to like everyone. Oh, there, Grumplin. First of all, I'm impossible to dislike, unless you're a bodyguard captain or a warrior-nun made of salt and iron shavings. Second, you need to be more up. We're one with the highest points of the city, and I need you to get with the ambiance. Frozen and windswept? And weren't you just Mr. Melancholy like 3 seconds ago? Couldn't say. Bad memory. Shifting his weight, the Snow Tiger reaches over with his free hand, tap on the earpiece control of my mask. A translucent material, fading to neon pixels that crumble into nothing. My face suddenly feels very cold. The fur of his knuckle drags down and tickles the side of my cheek. But it's not enough. I urge him to cut my cheek instead. Our fingers entangling. Vapor spills and swirls between us, and he gently rests his forehead against mine. Tell me what you want. Ravy of the Aerran. He knows my eyes. Now I can feel his warmth. Just want to be free, you know? Of more than Kavir could possibly know. To live my life without restrictions. He slides both arms around me and presses his face closer. His breath, his strength. Then be free. Simple as that, huh? Observe. Consider. I exhale shakily. Our faces are still close when I open my eyes, and our gazes meet. Kavir's eyes have a golden brightness, distinct from the chilly coloring of his fur. Your eyes are the color of the sun. Are they? I guess you know best, being from land where sun ain't constantly in bed. He slowly pulls away and looks up, shading his eyes. Maybe I'll see this Ryan of yours someday. Maybe, though you'd probably overheat. I'd overheat anywhere that doesn't have constant snow. He drops his hand and thumps his chest. I'm all fur, muscle, and antifreeze. No room for brains, huh? Yeah, I'll just take yours. Come here. He hooks a arm around my head, squeezing me between his bicep and his chest. I'm forced to breathe him in. He smells fresh and cool, like hamament. Why do you smell like you've rode around in Mountain Garden? Do you like it? It's an odd combination of distant and familiar. I associate so much of this place with Kavir, but Hamament feels the shadowy highlands. It's nice. I thought it might help you feel better. Maybe remind you of home. His fur tickles my nose. Sometimes the highland breezes would swirl so thickly with the scent, it could get all caught up in my sinuses and make me sneeze. There's really no escaping it all the time. We hid up there, Aerran, Yuraeli, and me, back before we fled to the west. How long was it? Just the 3 of us. We were so messy and complicated, and I was so often angry and afraid. I remember running away, again and again. I breathe in caviar. I'd always hide in mint fields. Yeah, I smile. Again and again they find me. I'd swear we'd always figure things out. I'm definitely going to sneeze. It does. I elbow Caviar in the stomach. He grunts, but releases me with a little smirk. What, not in the mood today? The tingle fades, and I thoughtfully rub my nose. Yuri's words still echo in my head. It's time to figure things out. Just bad timing. I should be getting back. Oh, do we ooh-woo? Oh, I guess. I lean forward. His face was soft against my lips. Thank you. I tap my earpiece. The holographic bearer glows into being. Immediately warm my face, but not more than Kavir's fur. And don't sound so glum. I'm still joining the crew. Yeah? His ears perk. Yeah, I just think I should follow up back home, you know? Make an attempt at repairing things a bit, if I need to. Whatever disagreements and flaws, I obviously care too much about both Dad and Yuraeli to let things stay awkward forever. I probably overreacted. You? Never. Careful, pretty boy. And to think, I could have had you saying that all afternoon. I groan. In any case, I can get you home pretty quickly enough. It just so happens I have a contract with the club tonight. You'll need to meet eventually anyways. So, why not now? Oh? Who? What kind of contract? He shakes his head. Can't say. Then what? You want me to find out them through mid-reading? I place my fingers to my temples and make a face. You both know the real reason I asked you to join my company, Ravy. Yeah, jazz running. What about it? Well, names are dangerous. Distinction between my legit expedition work as KENE and a jazz running crew exists for a reason. We don't have to hide who we are when we go into the white. But if we're talking runner jobs in town, doing merc work invites unsexy attention, is all. Your least favorite. True. Listen, I've worked with jazz runners before, Caviar. I know the risks. I thought we already had this understanding. Where do you think I get most of my tech clients? They're runners, or tech punks. Usually both. I know. I just want to make sure you realize what I'm asking. Having you along on KNE expeditions will be nice, but that's a secondary perk. Jazz running crew needs a tech hand for the jobs we got brewing, so that's what I really need. But I got to make sure this one last time you know what you're getting into. I'm aware you moonlight as a filthy thief, Caviar. This isn't news. Excuse you. I'm dashing root and relic acquisitioner by day, janitor and treasure hunter by night. I think you can only call yourself a treasure hunter if you're taking it from the dead. I fold my arms. Well, they're dead inside. I roll my eyes. Like my patience. Come on. I wouldn't have drummed up all my family drama if it wasn't serious. As far as Dad and you are concerned, I'm joining KNE, which is true. I'm also here to be a jazz runner, which of course I won't tell them because then they'd really freak out. I exhale sharply. So yeah, I know what's what. Caviar nods. Okay. So now that we've cleared things up, why can't I get a name? Not even an alias. Like, I feel like this is going on a bit and I'm not sure how long it goes, but we might just cut it there. Because, you know, it is what it is. It's alright, but, you know, it's like, I don't know how long this scene goes. I thought it was going to conclude a hot minute every now and then, but it's like, I guess it ain't. So, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play, or a quick look. So, please comment, because I like comments, tempt you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out our videos to help it grow and bleed around this way, know your animals to help control the pet population. And if you don't play this game, it's available free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month, I believe. But that's not the end of this thing. But I do want to say, if you want me to do a Let's Play series of this game, then tell me, and I'll give it a point, which will put it up higher on the user's choice list. But also, if you want me to do another visual novel, then tell me, or for a quick look or whatever. Tell me, and I will both give it a point and put it in the random generator of destiny thing so I can do a quick look of it. But now, it's time for number 2. Oh, is this? No, that's not that one. I don't think. What is this? I'm just going to minimize this thing right here just in case it tries to grab onto that. Yeah, it doesn't seem to like it. So I'm just going to pause it right here so I can, get this all organized. So 12. And we're back. Took us a hot minute. Which one is the thing? Red's good, right? Turning this down a bit. Okay, can we put the audio down a bit? Oh, okay, that's that. But yeah, it's somebody that's still sounds loud. Is there an English button? I think one of them was scenes. No, that's Patreon. Please let there be English. I'm gonna pause it right here so I can actually figure out stuff. Be right back. Okay, at the moment I can't figure out how to make it English. So, okay, those are hands. So, if we can get it for English, then we'll do this as a quick look for next week. And if you can't, it's gonna be a surprise what's gonna happen next week. Woo-woo, And if you want to play this game, do we have it somewhere? Smoke room. I guess I didn't save that. Let's see. Single Wolfie goes on set cruising download. I was able to turn down the music a bit, so I guess we could turn it up for you guys. How was that done? 2 years ago? It's weird that it has like English text right down there, but it's like I can't find it. Supported languages, Japanese and Chinese. Then maybe we won't do that one. Or put it on hold for a hot minute. So I'm going to put it on hold for a hot minute so that I can where is it? It's weird again, it's weird. It's like it and supported language, English, Chinese and Japanese, but for some reason it has its thing there. Though maybe it's kind of like one of those weird things where it's like neither of them, their main thing is English, but on hold. So random number of generator. Give me a thing. I guess we'll have to put it back to 4. No, 4. Just make sure it actually picks the numbers. Next is number 1. Hopefully it's not some thing that stuff. What's Demu? Oh, this was the one I was thinking of a hot minute ago. Don't know why I did that. And now we're gonna have to try and make it work. Nope. Oh, let's see. Can we do windowed? Okay, how about window capture of it? There we go. Boop. That being Demu, a game about a fox lady? Also doesn't like it when I put it. Let's see. D-I-M-U. Let's see. I'll just put this over here so I can read the thing while you're hearing the story. What is your name? Where are you? What does the scent of iron linger in the air? And most importantly, who is she? Recall memories long lost as you engage in conversation with a Katsune. You may or may not know. This visual game incorporates mature themes, including memory loss, aging, death, and visual depictions of blood. Also, just saying, looking at that fox lady would... she's as flat as a board, but still would. Anyways, until next time. Another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of a different game. That being this one. And I guess I'm gonna have to go to that person on the internet that suggested single wolfie going hunting, hot spring, cruising, or whatever. Hey, is it in English? Because I can't read Chinese or Japanese. Though it looked like it was just Chinese. There wasn't a language thing, so what am I gonna do? Anyways, thanks and see you.